I'm in a room with 1,000 of the country's richest people. They have millions of dollars to spend tonight. And the people asking for the money have sky-high ambitions to take on the world.
That's how it started. This is how it's going. 4, 3, 2, 1. We were essentially kids with an amazing idea. We wanted to show that we weren't idiots, that we could actually build something really amazing, something slightly crazy, a rocket-powered aircraft.
Hello, my name's James. I'm the CEO and founder here at Bike, and we are solving the greatest challenge in the financial services industry.
Inspiring Materials isn't just solving a problem, we're rewriting the playbook.
And we're enabling the biomanufacturing sector from the cell up.
And tonight, we're officially launching Ether, the strategic marketing platform.
Outside this room, the headlines are all economic gloom, rising jobless numbers and very tight belts. In here, I'm told the money is flowing, some of it from a new group of rich foreign investors tapping into the newly relaxed golden visa requirement. I'm Sharon Brett-Kelly. Today on The Detail, who are the startups and who are the investors? And why is this called Dragon's Den on human growth hormones?
Yeah, wonderful to have you all here. My name is Robbie. I'm CEO of Icehouse Ventures, and I just wanted to open by saying on behalf of the whole team how darn proud we are that we've made it to 15 years. So thanks to everybody.
It's called Showcase, an annual event run by Icehouse Ventures, a big investor in startups here in New Zealand. Tonight, 9 startup founders have 4 minutes each to get up on the stage and pitch. Some of them already have millions and are international, but they want more. Take File Invite, Kiwi software that moves documents through the cloud.
We've done so well in this space that we've changed the game in mortgage. So we got to 1 in 3 brokered home loans going through our system in Australia before refocusing on the US market. We've spent a couple of years focusing there, and now over 51% of our customers are based in the US.
And here's DataMask, which creates tech to fool hackers.
We're also looking to replicate that success into other strategic partnerships globally as well, from Microsoft through to Carasoft, who is one of the largest suppliers of software to the US government, who we signed about a month ago.
There's Aspiring Materials, created by a team of geoscientists and engineers.
We're transforming rock waste into fantastic, useful magnesium alloys and doing it in a clean and scalable fashion that is going to be globally attractive to multiple players.
Ether, a software spin-out from 2 existing fast-growing startups.
I know this market. I've grown Google, Meta, and TikTok globally. I've launched TikTok in New Zealand and working very closely with the same marketeers that we're serving today.
Some of what they reveal in their pitch is top secret for this audience only. Some is blatant hard sell.
I am personally investing in this round. I have shareholders that have been approaching me before we've even opened the round to put money in. And we've got individual staff members that are foregoing pay rises this year in lieu of getting ESOP because they know the opportunity and they want more skin in the game.
This is an opportunity that's real. The time is now, and the upsides will be enormous. This is your chance to get in early on a platform that will transform geology into geopolitics and waste into wealth. I hope you can come on that journey with us.
We're always looking at funding. This thing's can always go faster. So especially more BD, establishing the aircraft factory to get us to 100 million revenue a year, and really leaning into the R&D projects that we have really high conviction in. So faster, higher flying aircraft, getting towards satellite refueling. Come talk to me and come talk to the Icehouse team. Cheers.
But there are failures among the more than 100 startups that have pitched in the last 15 years. I'm going backstage to talk to the man behind all of this, Robbie Paul, Chief Executive of Icehouse Ventures.
Yeah, the one reason I tried to share that data is just to sort of open it up a little bit, because it's a very opaque industry. So it's 120 companies that presented, 26 failures, 12 companies have sold, and then the rest are still going. And whether or not it's a good number is sort of irrelevant, because you're not successful for having a small number of failures. You're successful for having some companies that become spectacularly valuable. Now, here's a fun fact. $93 million invested in those companies, right? 120 of them, relatively evenly, as you saw. 2 companies now are valued more than all the companies combined. Halter and Crimson, collectively, the investments that we invested in made are now worth $138 million. That's the nature of venture capital, right? It's not about how many companies fail or don't fail. It's how many companies do you access to become vastly successful and deliver 100 or 200 times or 500 times uplifts. And if you have those, then you can afford lots of losses.
How do things compare with 15 years ago when you first launched in terms of interest and the money that's available?
It just doesn't even compare. I mean, it was a completely different time back then and many fewer proof points. And the reality is that big companies come from small companies. That's a fact of life, and they take time to do so, right? And everybody accepts that, but nobody really subscribes to how long it really takes. But we've had enough time to have some of these companies go from literally nothing to billion-dollar valuations. And that is one of the reasons we opened with Olive from Cami.
Good evening, everyone. I am Olive Sampson. I'm one of the co-founders of the edtech company called Cami.
Her proof was there. Time Magazine, most significant company, 50 million users, right? And started as 3 university students back in the day.
Out there tonight, there's a room full of, hundreds of potential investors. On the night, how much is actually committed to these startups?
Typically, fundraising processes can take several weeks and sometimes months and sometimes longer than that. So it really depends on the company. Some companies are up, ready to go, as you would have heard, with live capital raises, and they're ready to accept capital. And others are just starting that process. And I would say before Dawn even got on stage, a commitment came through on our investor portal. So I think they saw it on the agenda and had seen the company and knew their reputation and committed, and they hadn't even seen the pitch. So.
A commitment from somebody here tonight.
Correct. Yeah,
and does that happen very often?
Well, that's pretty unique to not even wait for the presentation to happen. We have an investor portal that's used by our thousands of investors where they've been onboarded so they can very seamlessly co-invest in these companies once they're sort of part of the community. And so many of the folks in the room tonight will be looking at their phones, but not social media feeds, actually the investment platform. And you can see sometimes they actually are opening old reports on companies, tracking them over time, getting a little bit up to speed while the pitch is happening.
Is that right? You can actually see that?
Correct, yeah. It's a very immersive product that we've built, and actually tonight a full app is being released called Icehouse Ventures, and I'm pretty sure that's the first in the world that a venture capital fund has invested in building a product.
So those startup people have 4 minutes to tell their story, to do the hard sell. From that, do investors really go, because, to be honest, as an ordinary person who's not into the tech world, it's bamboozling, those 4-minute pitches.
Most of the time, people are making decisions on what they want to learn more about, not what they want to invest their money in. We ran an experiment one time with a smaller event where each company was given 60 seconds. And then at the end of that 60 seconds, where we had several companies present, the investors in the room had to get up and walk to the room of the company that they were most interested in. And you would think, maybe it's not enough time. Everybody stood up and walked beeline to whichever company it was that caught their attention. So I think it does say something about how you present, because you have a very short window to capture somebody's sort of heart and mind. But equally, you have investors that are focused on specific industries or stages or business models, and some love Don Aerospace and some hate hardware, right? And some love Aether, and others are so bored by marketing software. And that's the lovely nature of the ecosystem.
For these startups, just a select few, to even have this opportunity to get up on the stage, what do they have to prove to you?
It's a very difficult selection process, for us and for them, right? Fundamentally, let's say you're a high potential software company, great entrepreneur, big market, and good proof points, and all the things that you'd be looking for as an investor. That doesn't mean that you're going to get in, because we want a healthy mix of hardware, software, early stage, late stage, very easy to understand and very intellectually complex. Maybe a consumer good and an enterprise play and so on, which means you're not competing for one of 9 slots, you're competing maybe for one of 1 slot in your sort of area. And so some of these companies tonight, it took a lot of persuasion to say, come be part of it, here's why. Absolutely.
Oh, so they're not queuing up to get up there.
There's a queue of companies, but there's a select number of companies that have the right pedigree of team, the right size of market, the right unique technology, and so on, that you really want on stage. And guess what? If we want them on stage, a lot of investors want to invest in them from around the world. And at that point, they can pick and choose who they would like to take capital from. And it's our job to prove that we're a viable and worthy partner.
But here's why it has to go well, right? It has to go well for your kids and for my kids and for this next generation. And it's important that it goes well for this reason, because what they're seeing today is sort of like climate anxiety, war, economic challenges, geopolitical tensions, inequality, distrust, insecurity, and more than ever, this sort of anxiety about the future. I even spoke at the University of Auckland last night, and one of the students was worried about jobs, right? And I just don't think we're going to be carving a bright future if all of our next generation are worried about what's going to happen the next day. And so why is it important that it works? Because the companies that succeed are little beacons, are things that prove that there are good things in the world and that there are constants even in variable times. And the constants are this, right? Ambition is good. It always has been, always will be.
Who's out there in terms of the investors?
Well, it's a very curated group, right? We generally don't sell tickets. We don't have sponsors. This is an event for the entrepreneurs on stage. So it's 1,000 investors in the room, some representing big families, some prolifically wealthy, some wealthy but not prolifically wealthy, but still really bullish on the space, and folks from all walks of life. I wish I could name some of them, to be honest.
Okay, no. Let's get back to the pitch.
We're the biotech company that is shaping the future of modern biomanufacturing, and we'd love your support to put New Zealand as the global leader in this field. I'm Laura Domigan, and I'm the co-founder and chief scientist at Oppo Bio Aotearoa.
Right, I've just seen you do your big presentation. What's it like? Is it nerve-wracking?
It's nerve-wracking, I'd say, right until you're on the stage, and then it becomes pretty exciting.
Does it?
Particularly when you look and you see people smiling and responding to what you're saying.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, because that is a room, 1,000 potential investors there.
Yeah.
So
Good odds.
Yeah, you think so? So
Yeah.
any approaches yet?
Well, our CEO said she's had a couple of messages, so we'll see already.
Already?
So hopefully, yeah.
What are those messages? Do you
I don't know. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So we've already, I guess, raised the majority of our round. We're closing out a $1.8 million round, and we're really just looking for an extra kind of couple of 100,000. So
Not much.
Not much.
No.
Only a couple of people.
Yeah,
So.
and what would that enable you to do?
Yeah, so that would really for us be about proving this new product that we're launching, the collagen. Later this year, we're really excited to be launching Oppo Coal, an animal-free collagen that is designed for medical and cosmetic applications, where purity and performance are critical. So producing that at scale, getting those samples, these product samples into the hands of the people that we want to be supplying this to in the medical field, and starting to get that validation and feedback that they've told us, yes, we want this, but actually knowing that when they've used it, yes, I really want this.
What was your vision as a co-founder of the company? I mean, did you ever imagine that you would be up on that stage pitching to some of the wealthiest people in New Zealand?
Yeah, I would say when we founded the company, I was probably too naive to know that this sort of thing even existed. But it's definitely something that I think we're very capable of doing and that we should be doing. So.
And what's your feeling at the moment? Because, you know, New Zealand, we're all feeling a bit down in the dumps at the moment. I mean, we're constantly told we've got no money. There's no money for anything. And yet it feels a little bit different in this room.
It does, yeah. I'm not sure if the people in this room are those people with no money.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But yet, I mean, what...
I think there is a feeling of optimism. I think there's a feeling that, okay, if we can sort ourselves out, get our productivity going, as they were saying, and actually start bringing these products to market, that we could see a real step change for New Zealand.
Every startup starts the same way. Fragile, uncertain, and mainly fueled by vision. The founders you'll see tonight have that. What they need from you is for you to share that vision, to back ambition and to take risks with it, and to help prove that New Zealand can produce world-class companies again and again.
My name is Anne Catley. I'm actually a director of Icehouse Ventures. My approach to investing has been to invest in the funds because each year there is a showcase fund which invests across all of the companies that you see tonight. That's been my philosophy. You can invest in individual companies, but you have to do enough work to understand that that's the company you want to be invested in.
Sure. But what is the attraction of investing in a startup? Because it's quite risky, isn't it?
It's very risky, and so if that was the only thing I was investing in, probably I may not take that risk. But as part of an investment portfolio, it gives you an opportunity to see companies grow. I've found it the most stimulating area to be investing in. You know, it's not passive. You know,
Isn't it?
You're getting information. You can attend as many events as you want to. It's quite exciting, and I believe in it as an important step for New Zealand in finding its own future.
Why do you say that?
I say that because young people are keen to get into their own businesses now, much more than they would have in my era coming through university and starting work. And they have got the passion and the application to get an idea and believe in it and put time and energy into it. And New Zealand needs to do that and use its special creativity to forge a way forward that's exciting and relevant and can take its place in the world.
Times are tough at the moment, aren't they? So does it make you, as an investor, think twice about whether you really want to take the risk putting your money into something when you're better invested in something that's a bit more secure?
Personally, no. I mean, that might be my own situation that, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to take that risk. Our family's been investing in the Showcase Fund or in funds since 2015, I think, and our return is something like, I mean, it's not a cash return, it's a valuation return, but our return is something like 17% per annum. Now, not that I'm telling you that that's what you're going to get, but I think as part of a portfolio, it's a good investment.
What's your feeling about tonight, you know, the community tonight and how it compares with previous years?
Well, the business grows every year. The quality of the investments of the startups, it's broad-based. One of the things that has happened that I've noticed in the last year or two is that there are so many New Zealanders who are overseas and they are starting companies, And so we're getting the opportunities now as we become more mature to connect to those New Zealanders that are overseas. And so you're investing not only in New Zealand, but in New Zealanders who are doing wonderful things.
And that kind of brings up the whole brain drain thing, doesn't it? I mean, we're constantly hearing about young New Zealanders who are going off overseas because the opportunities aren't here. But you're maybe saying that it's not such a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just part of a mature ecosystem. People go away, some come back. I think there's opportunities that come out of it. I don't see it as a negative thing for New Zealand.
Please join me in congratulating Sonia Williams, Brooke Roberts and Leighton Roberts of Sharesies to the state.
A big winner on the night is the investment platform Sharesies, awarded the Ray Thompson Award for Outstanding Entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm Leighton Roberts, co-founder of Sharesies.
Big night for you tonight. I mean, you're pitching for more money, but also you got the big Ray Thompson Award.
Very exciting. It's always great to be here. Like, we started here 8 years ago, so it's sort of like a comeback of sorts, but of course business is very different to what it was when we were here 8 years ago.
Some interesting things that you said in that acceptance speech, which I think was off the top of your head.
It was very much off the top of my head, yes.
But you said you were an uninvestable company.
Yes.
And because there were 6 young people and some of you were couples. So does that make you very unattractive?
It very much does, yeah.
Why?
It turns out there's a bit of a recipe for startup investing and you know, I think this has changed over time, but 8 years ago that was a thing, and we didn't fit that recipe very well. So but at the end of the day, you know, I think that if you're starting a business, then if enough people are not saying it's a bad idea, the way you're going about it, then it's probably not a good idea. Someone might be doing it. So
you've got some impressive numbers. Just tell me a few of them.
Look, I mean, we've got over 600 companies using the platform now, and part of that is getting more New Zealanders and Australians owning shares in the businesses they work for. One of my favourite stats is roughly every 15 or 20 minutes $1 million goes through the platform now, which it took us the best part of a year to get the first $1 million in total, and now we get those sort of numbers. 750,000 New Zealanders, close to 150,000 Australians, and you know, customers in 10 countries using our B2B product. So,
but it can't have all been easy.
No, it's had some bumps on the road, but I would say one of the things about having 6 of you is people used to call us whack-a-mole. You know, you might get 1 or 2 of us down, but it's very hard to get all 6 of us. And I think that rings true today. You know, every time I feel a bit down on something, I share it with the group and someone else doesn't care, or they have the answer, or it's not that much of a thing. So, you know, I do believe in power in numbers, and we're very ambitious as a group. We care about each other a lot, and I think we've achieved some amazing things, and I think we will continue to.
You're back in the market for more money.
Well, the business is actually cash flow positive now, has been for the last sort of 12 months or so, but we have this really large opportunity in front of us still, and we've always said that we'll raise money when we don't need to, and this is one of those times. We don't, because that puts you in a great place to raise money, firstly. But secondly, no one ever knows what's around the corner, and like one of the things about businesses is it always takes more time and it always takes more money than what you think. And we think the purpose that we're trying to deliver, which is financial empowerment for everyone, still has a lot of legs to run on it.
One of the things you said is, this is the most thriving time.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
New Zealanders don't feel like that.
No, and I hear that, but I think the education is coming through so strong. You've got people who never invested before. When Sharesies started, we used to ask rooms who was an investor, and no one would put their hands up. And these days you ask that same question, and at a minimum they know they can. And that's just a gigantic opportunity. We're moving out of a century of housing for New Zealand and I think we're moving into a century of like being extremely productive with our use of capital, extremely educated, and I think that's going to make for a really prosperous New Zealand.
So have you had anybody come up and say, yes, I want to put money into you?
Sharesies has raised over $100 million in capital, which is, you know, that would have been an unimaginable number to me and the team 8 years ago. So it is there, that appetite, and we're very lucky that this system of people are here. I count many of them now as my friends, and I don't see any of them as as wealthy or rich or anything. Just people trying to do good things. And what I'm most excited about is that I think this 1,000 people that is going to grow. I reckon fast forward 10, 20 years, maybe we'll be in a stadium somewhere.
That's it for today. The Detail is a newsroom production supported by RNZ and NZ On Air. Today's episode was produced by Gwen McClure and engineered by Jeremy Ansell. Thanks to Laura Domigan, Anne Catley, Robbie Paul and Leighton Roberts. I'm Sharon Brett Kelly. Ka kite.